Time for the Wednesday training. Today, as I promised, we'll be doing attacking, so a little bit kicks and punches and so on. One thing that I want to focus on is the continuation of the attacks. So especially when we are doing some sparring training and we go into sleeping emotion, and now from here I should be able to continue punching, and the problem very often comes that we sort of like come up and we are jumping up, we are not actually sort of like sliding forward. So the continuation is one thing that I want to focus on today, and we'll do that from a few situations, so to speak. So let's just take a small warm-up, but today the warm-up will be so that we are doing the techniques, aka like punches and then a little bit of kicks, and then we just combine these together. So today the training session, again, I can promise you that we'll be doing 30 minutes, but when I get excited it's going to be still 40-45 minutes as usual. All right, so thinking of punching and going from sort of like a normal stance to a fighting stance, remembering that this is not a very hard motion to do, but just to practice a little bit of getting to a ready stance, starting to do punching. Getting to a ready stance, starting to do punching, okay? So let's work out for a minute or so of doing this, okay? So ready stance, punch, punch. Do a punching, ready stance. All right, relax a bit. Then let's warm up the hips. So swing the leg in front of you. So coming from here and bring it to the side. Now you can hold on to something if you feel like you're falling or so. And the other leg. All right, then raise the knee up and then do a back kick. So raise the knee up, down and back. Turn around again. All right, rotate the hips a bit. Okay, now from side to side, not to go over here, but to slide down So from here, going down and going down. Shoulder staying above your hips, knee and foot. Not going outside of your foot, okay? So more warming up the knees a bit. Okay, next motion, going to here and now. This is the abs training now. So what I'm doing is that I am taking in, crunching and sliding. Crunching and sliding, okay? Crunching and sliding, crunching and sliding, all right? This, from here to here, here to here, all right? Then you can rotate, and now as we're doing a rotation motion, think always that it's not just rotating your hands. You are every time thinking of a punch. Now with the elbow, let's say the elbow here, or elbow here, but all the time there is the attack with you when you're doing the warm-up. So core needs to be tight. So when I'm coming from here and moving, so I'm thinking that now I'm hitting with the elbow here, all right? So, all right, then we are doing vertical. So coming from here up. So thinking of motions like this and coming up, all right? So from here we're going there and there. All right, roll your head a bit. Neck is doing nice snaps. So getting warmed up a bit. All right, let's have a few kicks in a technical terms. One thing that I've found in a lot of the trainings, the problem of understanding what's the difference between a stomping kick and front kick. And of course, it's obvious when you look at it from here, thinking that I'm making a front kick and my foot is vertically and toes are pointing up. But then when you are transferring that, okay, now I'm making a stomping kick and my feet or my foot is vertical like this or horizontal like this, more horizontal. So now, in a warm-up, let's make the difference clear. So thinking that when I'm starting from here and I'm doing a front kick, I'm bringing the leg up and then bring the knee high to the side. So you see from here, like this. Maybe I'll just take the jacket off a bit. So you see when I'm doing this to here. So now when you're making a front kick and you're making a stomping kick, your body is also different, because when we're going into the continuation of the attack, when I'm making a front kick, I'll be good working, going a little bit forward. So if I get a good front kick, I recoil and I come back here. That's where I get a good stomping kick and my body moves naturally the other way. So that's like the mind game that you need to practice and think that, okay, if I'm making this hard. Now I hit and I come back because all of the recoil needs to come from here. So when I kick, I recoil, this hand is front already. But with this one, when I recoil, the same hand is still in front. But if I got a good success, I will need to get the kicking leg forward. And actually what is happening, if we're thinking a situation like this, I attacked and now I am passing by here. As of where I attacked, I am going to the other way, perhaps more naturally. But these are the things that we need to practice, and it's wrong to say that they are options, because it's not really an option, but it's your natural motion. That if we are kicking and I am missing with this one, now I'm going here. But if I am kicking and I'm hitting, now I'm moving to the other direction. And in training, not to go that, okay, technique goes like this, you have to all the time do this and do this, or you have to all the time do this and do this. Because it varies from the situation where your body came to, it varies about your balance. So that's very important to understand. All right. Now, let's take the other leg. So if I'm making a front kick, it's quite obvious. So from here, maybe moving to a side a bit, out of the line of fire, if this is the line of fire. Perhaps see it from here. So now I'm quite directly in the line of fire. Now I move out of the line of fire and hit. But then, what about the stomping kick? Now, the stomping kick might come when I feel that here's a punch coming and I slip outside, and now it's more like a side kick. More of this, but I'm not turning all the way. I'm turning this much because I'm moving backwards. I'm doing this and kick. And of course, think about the continuation after that. So if I'm making a slip kick, is it going to be another kick? Of course, if this one stays in place, sure. But if the person is flown backwards, let's say that I'm making a stomping kick and it's all the way there, my next technique might be just to move out and be here, ready to do something else if they recover and continue the attack. But it might as well be this hammer and punch. Hammer meaning that I am now taking the hand away so I can punch to the face, I can punch to the throat if I want, to the side of the neck, perhaps here. And now remember again, if this person is so much taller than me, I'm not trying to reach the head. I am just trying to hit wherever is a good place to hit. The rib cage here, if I'm down here, it might be this, and the rib cage is right there at my reach. So that's why I think Krav Maga is one of the best self-defense systems if we are training it like it should be trained. So we all have our cards that have been given to us, so we need to put those to use. So if my opponent is so tall, it's going to be very hard for me to hit there because then I need to jump. But there's lots of good places here that I can actually hit them. Let's go back to the continuation of the drill. So from here, now as I'm coming back, I can hit with the other hand to get to here. Now what's my next move going to be? Probably a little bit outside, perhaps some hitting low, kick to the groin if the person is still in your reach. But just that there is that +1, not only the +1, okay, who's going to be next, but the +1 attack. Because the body is all the time loading the next attack. That's what's happening to us naturally. So, let's do stomping kick and then continuation. First, coming from here, and now I moved out, perhaps made a block, and my knee comes up, I kick, and I get away. I move to a ready stance. The other one, I kick, I move in, I continue the attack and move out. Let's try these two for a minute or so, okay? So first, you can do at my speed. I'm going to do this very slowly, so there is no hardship of tagging along. So first we're going to go backwards, then we're going to go inwards. Hit, out, hit, in. Hit, out. Hit, in. Again, hit, out. Hit, in. And again, hit, out. All right, so very, very simple exercise. And all the time using the core muscles to get your body going. Now, the harder one, and I think one of the hardest ones, is where we do a slip and punch down. So we would be going to here. And now I need to continue from there. And that's where the problem comes a lot of times, that when we are doing this foot is just getting away from my balance. I am getting out of balance here. And now it's going to be very hard for me to actually come back and do the punching. So let's practice that, thinking that when you're making the punch, you are moving as a whole. And now you can continue and continue again. So if we're doing with Bob here, it would go somehow like this. Now I'm going to this side, so I might be like this, so then I can just change position. I'm moving from there to here to here. Now I need to pass the hands. Or if I just turn him around, you can probably see better. So thinking that when I'm moving to here, and now the next punch, recoil, and next punch, okay? So think of punch, 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 or low, high. So to here, and now from here, recoil, and punch again, okay? So to here, punch, and punch again. Once more, hit and hit. Now, give time to it, because a lot of times the problem is that we're trying to be too fast for ourselves, and then it looks like this. There was nothing to be loaded, so to say. You did not give time, I did not give time to the body to actually recover from here. I was already, my thighs were done. I did not have any tension in my core, and then I'm doing this. And of course I'm thinking that, okay, it's going very well, but it's not. And you can see it when the person starts moving, as you saw if you check the YouTube for the sparring videos we just made, 3 of those. And you saw the exercises where I was punching and he was doing the slipping and punching, and when she hit me hard and I was flying backwards, there is no hook punch to hit. But if this one goes a little bit like that, now you have the hook punch to hit. Okay? Now with anything like this or a punching bag or so, it's always necessary at some point to do training if you don't have a partner to train with, of course, because we need to hit something. And still we have the problem that these are not actually rolling and moving as a real human being will be when you hit them. But let's continue. So we did, and now as we are here, look at my feet. I am here. Now I can do the punch coming from here. And this leg you must allow it to move as you move. So you're not just doing this. Because now I'm only making the punch with my hand, so to say. So thinking from here, and now we are starting punch, coming back and punch. Okay, let's do a few times, maybe 30 seconds or so. And you see, I'm not doing it very, very fast. I'm just trying to be hitting hard, and you can see there is like a half a second or so in between all of the punches. Of course, you can make it faster, but don't be fast in a way that it goes to look like this. There is no. So to be smooth is a lot better. As the gun guys say, the smooth is fast, so doing that. Okay, now the exercises, and let's do another one of the continuation drill that starts with a slip to here. So you see the Bob's hand here. And now, as I am slipping, the hand is all the way there. So now I'm punching to the core here again. So thinking that I'm making a punch, and then I'm continuing to here. So you get to the point where you are around a 90 degrees angle to the side. So from here to here. Again, where the problem lies is here. That you get to here and then you feel that you are stuck. And then you start to come up like this. Then it's all ruined. It's not going to work. So once you are here, now, in practice, if you feel like you are not going to get a good power to the body, lower your legs a bit. Now you feel that, hey, now I can turn the body from here and punch. Because then you slowly start to feel that, all right, now I'm here. Now I have strength in legs. Now I have strength here. Now I can punch. Now I can punch. Now I can punch. Now I can punch. Okay? A few more times. So think, slip and punch, punch, punch. And now as this guy is very strong, and he's got a big arm here in front of the target, I cannot hit to the head because my hand cannot reach there. If I'd be taller, if I had longer arms, no problem, I could hit there. But as I cannot, I'm choosing the target that is the closest and nearest to me, so I can actually work it out. Okay? So again, here. Now think of this. Continue, punch, continue, punch. All right? Let's work it out. Okay, now, when you want to add some kicks into the equation here, there lies the other problem, and that's if one basic kicking is always with straight legs, and I'm very good at doing this, of raising the foot or leg and kicking, and I am not very good at doing it from here. Then there becomes the problem. So from here, when we are doing this, if I now want to make a straight kick, let's say that Bob here turned a bit front to me and I'm afraid of that hand, and now my legs are bent and I'm making a front kick to the groin. So then it might be that I'm here and now all of a sudden it's moving here, I make a front kick and then punch. So training the kicks from a low position like this, it's very important. So all of the techniques that we train, punches, kicks, hits, must be done from here, not from here. And when we get that to the basic training, that every time I'm making kicks, I might start from here, lowering myself, going to hitting, will be all right. Okay, let's work out a few things. So from here, let's say I'm doing this, and now I need to make a kick. So I'm making a kick, but I'm coming back to the same position. All right, so now without a target, I need to be able to make this work to visualize what I'm doing. Of course, you can visualize it with the camera, you can visualize it with the mirror, don't worry, but especially you need to visualize it by feeling that, hey, once I go into slipping, now I have in here, and when I start to do a punch, from here, I can let my legs work. And now all of a sudden, if I need to slip away, I can make that stomping kick forward, let's say to the person's knee or so. So let's work on that combination a bit. So we started from the slip and hit. We made a good punch here. And all of a sudden the person is coming towards you. You flinch a bit, you turn to here, you give a side kick, and then you go into a straight punch. Or perhaps you go into a stepping defense. Who knows? But the motion is the same, whether it's a punch or stepping defense or just a pointing finger to the person's eye, doesn't matter. Okay, so slip outside, now feel your legs, hit again, feel your legs, move out, kick, hammer punch, stepping defense, and continue with the other hand. And now focus on this. Because if you can do it like this, there's no problem. And this is what you normally see a lot of times in training. Go straight back like this, and doing this. We are doing this. Now we are facing a trouble because we cannot move backwards. We are doing this, and like that. That's wasted time. Don't train like that. You're better off just making jumping jacks or something like that, okay? But now as we're training self-defense, we're training Krav Maga, we need to be here. So first thing starts to come, remember this, we've done this quite a lot of exercises. So from here, doing this, now feel your legs, hit, feel your legs, hit with the hammer, hit with the fist, move out, look at the situation, perhaps get out, see where you're going, and that's it. One done. Okay, again. So, starting from here, all of a sudden something Start to come up, we're here, feel your legs, out and out. And then again moving out. Relax a bit. And now once you turn, there's a punch. So learning to do this, or enhancing, we all know that already. It's in our system. But putting that into the technique, it's something that we need to practice a bit. All right, walking around, walking around. Now there's the attack, hit, hit, hit. Now you can train with me. I'm making the attacks to you now. So you are there in all free time, thinking of situation. I'm getting close like this. So think of that. And all of a sudden, I'm punching you. Now you know what's coming. So react to that, okay? And I'll try to play along with you. Let's see how this goes. You can comment me later. So, all of a sudden I'm punching you. Look at my hands. I'm shaking a bit. I am clenching my fists. Now you're seeing the pre-fight indicators. I'm pointing those to you. I'm looking at you. I'm stretching my shoulders. I am blading myself. I'm starting to get ready for a fight, and all of a sudden I will punch you, and now you hit me, now you hit me, now you need to kick me. Okay? That's the key. And that rhythm is quite all right. Let's do it again. So, you're seeing me shaking my hands a bit, looking at you. Hey, what's your problem? What's going to happen? I'm blading. I'm doing this, and all of a sudden now comes the hit, hit. And that's the key when you are doing this, and now there will not be a lot of attacks when you hit hard. And you don't have to rush it, okay? Because the first time you hit hard here, it's going to take my attention a bit. It's going to do this. And now you have that second of time to make the other attack. But if your other attack after that is this, if the first one is good, it's coming like this, but the next one is this, then you are going to be in trouble, all right? So take your time, okay? Let's do it once more. So I'm here, you're seeing the pre-fight indicators. I'm doing a little bit of this, looking at you, perhaps looking out, and then punching you. Okay? Let's do it again. So from here, I'm bleeding, looking out, and now I'm punching you. Now you hit me, now you hit me. Now you just need to continue. And just remember, all you need to practice now is to stay down there, be good, stay down here, and you'll be okay. And don't worry about how tall the person is. There are plenty of targets for you down here, okay? Plenty of targets for you. You don't need to every time hit person to the head or throat or so. You hit them here, eventually you will get the targets to come closer to you, okay? Once you hit person here, and now all of a sudden the head or side of the neck might be right there where you need them to be. Now, so we had this one. Now let's think that it comes from a little bit of a different angle. So punch coming from somewhere, and now I start to go here. Now this continuation thing is when we are training it from upright standing position like this, and I am trying to make you do this. And people are saying, oh, you just take a step. Now, if you are here and you take a step, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because your head is high and it's not going to work, okay? But if you think that you flinched here, you startled here, and now you go into punching, it's not going to be very hard to bring this foot here. And don't worry about it if you feel that after this one, now you see where my foot is pointing, it's pointing there. I'm not going to be able to make a hook punch from here, but I'm sure that I'm able to make a roundhouse kick to groin or to shin, you know, take the person's leg out here, no problem. So think of that. So if I'm coming from here and now this happened, now you see my foot being quite straightforward. It's going to be quite easy to actually start punching from here. And now, if somehow my leg is pointing out, maybe I go with the side kick and continue from there. Key learning being, be down. Stay here. Make this your comfort zone, okay? And it's not like training in a long positions of taking horse stances or whatever these are, high horse stances or whatever these are called. Of course, it's training your core here, but what we need it to be is that your legs, your feet are under your shoulder. If they are like this, it's very strenuous. But from this position, it's going to be, all right, you can move forward, but you know, if I need to move back, sideways, we're not actually utilizing, we're not getting the best out of our core. So that's why thinking of the normal position from here, moving, hitting, it's all right. Or do the other way from here to here. But this is one of the key things you need to do. All right. About punches a bit. Because a lot of times when we go into shadow boxing and punching, legs get tired to being here, legs come to here, and then the punches start to be like this. We are punching like making stuff like this. And now if I'm making stuff like this to Bob, it's not doing anything. On the other hand, if I'm making punches like this, it's definitely going to do something. And that's just because of where the power is coming from. Straight here. And again, if I need to pass something, I am changing the punch, but still, look at the angle. It's not here. It's going to be here. So my body is all the time behind my hand. And of course, there's like hundreds of thousands of knockouts done from various hand positions. But of course, we are trying to get the technique as pure and good as possible, because in the event, you might end up hitting here, or you might end up hitting here because the person moved. Yeah, you hit with the wrong knuckles. Yeah, but if you hit to the chin here, the mental nerve, and you knock the person out, it's definitely not going to be wrong. But a punching exercise, very simple. We've done this like a million times, but every time it's the same thing. So from here, if you think of bringing it behind your back, now remember to have it, your thumbs here, okay? If you bring them higher here, your thumbs will start to do this. So that's why under the hand a bit. So when you start from here, now you can see it coming to here. All right? Not inside, outside. Because what this is now doing to us is that once we start to punch, we start to make the punch, it's keeping instantly our elbow low where it should be. and the punch is right there with me. Yes, you can turn the punch if you want to, but when you look at the boxers who are fighting in a ring, every time they start to do this, if the person is right in front of them, they are losing balance every time. So now when you start doing from here, punches, punches, I need to take a little bit slow with this other hand. I'm now punching with my left a bit more because of the elbow problem I have right now. So doing this. And you see that now it's going to be very hard for me to actually start rotating the hand. But to punch straight, in straight line, it's going to be easy for me. So that's why using the resistance bands, it's very good. Also with hook punches. Low hooks here, higher hooks here. The resistance band gives you ability to actually, it helps you to bring the punch back. And again, remember that all the time your core is pointing forward. That's where the power is coming from and that's where it should be going. Okay, so to here, 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 straight punches, and again here, 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 and straight punches. But these are the simple exercises you can do on your own, and of course with the when you have this at your use later on at the Krav Maga coach platform, you can go back to this because a lot of information in a 35-minute exercise. And you need to go and rewind and do it again. Because the thing is that once we understand this and we get this to be our core, we get this to be our comfort zone, to work from here, it will start to go nicely every time. So quit doing, so when you are in a group practice or you're practicing on your own, throwing kicks from upright position of this, yeah, it's like swinging those legs, okay? Warming up the hips. But when you go into actually practicing the kicks, every time there's a continuation technique. So every time you move someplace, punch, hit, hit. And free yourself of trying and finding something that works for you. Something like this might work for you very, very good. And if it's your thing, make it your thing. Make it your perfect thing. So every time it's a situation like this, you might go into doing something like that. And that's your thing. Okay. All right, guys, let's continue next week with about the same subject, but we take into consideration a bit of hand defenses, which are like punches. But let's continue working here. So now I made it my task that almost all of the September we are doing a lot of attack drills and thinking of different exercises to get very good at that. And then it's more up to you to actually do the training during the week. But now for the next week, if you have time, sometimes 10 minutes or 30 minutes to do this same exercise again, remembering this as first thing of the sleep, up here, coming here, up here, coming here, thinking of how to make the punches and kick come together. All right, guys, until next week, see you then. Have fun training, and if you have any questions, just, email me, WhatsApp me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.